Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. How are you today? I am going to invite Sureya. So if you're jumping on here, her in the room. Let's see. Okay. Hannah's joined. Hi, Hannah. And there's
Hi,
Sureya.
I'm
Hi,
good. How you
Sureya. How's it
doing?
going? I'm brilliant.
Good,
I'm
good.
brilliant. Nice to see you. We've had a couple of people joining already. That's exciting. Just let's give it a minute or so, see if anyone else is gonna pop in.
I
How's your
have,
weekend
yeah,
been? Have you
it's
been
been a really
dancing this
busy one
weekend?
actually. I was teaching yesterday
Yeah.
morning and then I had work, my normal job, and then I was gigging last night. And also I was conditioning yesterday morning as well before I was teaching. So the weekends are quite busy. The
Yeah.
Saturdays are the busiest with when it comes to dancing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. And you had a
Yeah,
gig in
yeah. So
Milton Keynes, is
every
that
week
right?
I'm in Milton Keynes, and like here and there as well, like weddings. Wedding season is booming at the moment, so yeah, or it's starting to boom
Cool.
towards June, May, June. So yeah.
Mm. Nice. Cool, that's awesome. I bet this year, hopefully, fingers crossed, is going to be massive. People have had
God,
postponed weddings,
yeah,
I imagine, for the
yeah.
last couple of years. So they'll probably they'll be
No,
keeping you
but they're
busy.
so much fun. It's so much fun dancing at weddings. They're my favorite kinds of gigs.
Nice. Yeah, I can imagine everyone's just happy and joyful and they want to
Yeah.
party and they want to join
Oh
in and
yeah,
have a dance as
it's
well. It
just
must be
like
great.
when you see people together and they're celebrating a happy couple or they're celebrating each other and there's families, it's just the best thing ever to
Oh,
be part of that. So yeah.
that's nice. Oh, that's really beautiful. Cool. Well, let's get started proper with the
Hello.
interview. We've got a few
Oh,
people watching, so
my
hi to
cousin
everybody
is here from
watching.
Cyprus as
We've got
well. Merhaba.
oh, cool. Istanbul. Cool. Amazing. Nice. Thank you everyone for joining us. And I'm sure some people will pop in as we're talking anyway. So for those of you who are my followers, I'm going to introduce you to Sureya. I've been taking some classes with her for a few months now, and I started taking classes with her because I was looking to expand my knowledge in different styles of Rekshaki, and Sureya is a Turkish dancer. So it seemed like an obvious choice for me because she's fabulous. And I think I first met you in a Melanie
I
Norman
think so.
workshop. Is that
Do you know
right?
what? Like,
Years and years and years
I
and
have
years
the
ago.
worst,
I
I
don't
have
know
the
if
worst
we met.
memory when it comes to workshops. I'm one of those people, I'm terrible in a workshop. They'll look at me and they'll think, oh, she's unsociable. Like, but because I'm concentrating so much, like, I forget who's around me or where I am.
Mhm.
But I think we
Yeah,
did
yeah,
meet in one of Melanie's workshops a few years back. And yeah, those were amazing. It was so amazing to have live
yeah.
workshops back then. And
Oh no, they were such a treat. They were so good, and the shows were amazing. And I just remember seeing you. I don't think we chatted or maybe we said hello or something, but I remember seeing you dancing and just saying, "Wow!" Like sometimes you see someone in a workshop and you catch them and you're like, "Whoa, they're good." So
thank
yeah, so
you.
I remember you from then. And I've been loving your classes. I keep talking about them online because I came to you because I was interested in learning about Turkish styles of belly dance, but actually was so happy to discover that we're kindred spirits in terms of fitness for dance and conditioning for dance and the importance of strengthening your body for dance for everybody. But particularly for those of us, so many dancers are um, come to dance maybe because they don't want to go to the gym, but obviously all of these challenging, intricate exercises we're doing require some strength and stability. So maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit about yourself and when you got into dancing and how that
Yeah,
related to your
so
kind of
long
fitness.
story, but I started dancing properly when I was in college. That's when I started taking classes. I was a teenager. And back then,
Mm.
I did not connect dance to fitness. I saw them as two separate things. But really, I started dancing,
Hmm.
learning Rakshaki when I was really, really young, like the age of 3. Like, because I'm Turkish, in our culture, we see a lot of belly dancing on TV, at weddings, parties, and things like that,
Hmm.
restaurants. And I would always try and get up and copy the dancer. Like, some of my first memories as a 3-year-old were like dancing in front of the TV, trying to shimmy and and do the
Oh,
hip lifts and everything. So when I went to my first beginners class at the age of 18, I was like, oh, I can do this. This is fun. But I never saw the link between the fitness and the dancing. I actually, in terms of fitness, I studied martial arts between ages of 10 and 14. So
oh,
for four
cool.
years I did that, and that was quite
Hmm.
heavy on fitness, but not in the same way as dance, what we need as dance. And I never went to the
Okay.
gym until I was at least the age of, say, 20. So yeah, I wasn't that big on
Hmm.
fitness, but I was first introduced to the fitness side when I was studying martial arts, and I regret giving it up. I
Yeah.
had my exams, my GCSEs come in, and I got up to my brown belt,
Mm.
but I just never carried on, and it's something I want to do. Like, I want to go back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like dancing itself, since as early as I can remember, I was always dancing around the house. Like, if I saw a belly
Oh,
dance at a restaurant, or we used to go out to places like FS in London. Those of you that know London quite well, it's where I grew
oh
up.
yeah.
And parties, things, holidays. Turkish people love belly dancing, and it's a great form of entertainment for us. And it was the one bit of the night that I looked forward to most.
Hmm.
I was like, I hope they get me up. And yeah, I just loved it. I
Yeah.
would like just try and soak it all in and copy what the dancer was doing. And yeah, and yeah, it just felt natural, really. And I love the music too.
Cool, cool. Oh, that's really interesting. So awesome to have like been brought up around it. It just like soaks into you, of course. So what got you started? So you said you didn't really have that connection with fitness and dancing initially. What changed that? When did you start to
Yeah.
incorporate fitness
So
practices into
after I got
your
injured,
dance practice?
I changed my whole mindset. Well, there was
Ah,
actually 3 points in my dancing career that I thought about fitness differently. The first time was when I got injured, and I had started, like, from when I was in college. Like, I'd started with Turkish style. Like, that's what my base was. And Turkish style, for those of you that are familiar or don't know much about it, to me, it's the most athletic and the most physically demanding form of Rakshaki that I've studied, at least. So it's, there's floor work, there's a lot of strength required, back bends, flexibility, lots of fast turns. You have to be strong on your feet. There's so many things, so many factors to it. And I was doing all of that and learning stuff and I was studying, yes, but I was doing all of that without proper conditioning, and I got injured. And I thought at the time,
mhm.
I'm young, I'm in my early 20s, and what's going to happen to me? You think you're on top of the world until an injury hits. And I remember getting my first injury on my knee, and I was like, God, I had to take 6 months out, and I had lots of physio, I had,
Right.
a lot going on. And then I realized, okay, I need to start
Mm.
incorporating conditioning into my practice. That was the first time that I looked at fitness in a different way, apart from when I'd studied martial arts. So I started going to the gym, um, doing
Yeah.
exercises at the gym to strengthen my
Mhm.
quads. And then the second time that I looked at fitness differently um, was when was was probably when I started performing. Because to me, fitness is not one thing. There's many different aspects to fitness. when we say, are you fit? I mean, are
Mm-hmm.
you fit in stamina? Do you have the cardio to be on stage and do long shows? Or is it the fact that your muscles are fit and execute moves in a certain way, or prevents injury? So there's different aspects to it. And so the second time I looked at it differently was when I started performing. And I started performing, I think about
Mm-hmm.
4 years after I started taking classes. And I remember, and I'm asthmatic. So I grew up in Islington, like
Mm-hmm.
central London. I grew up in a really heavily populated place, and I always had problems with um, breathing, with stamina, and even when I was studying martial arts, like I was never that great because of my stamina. And so when I started performing on stage, I would get very out of breath, and I looked at
Mm-hmm.
fitness differently from that side, from a cardio point of view. And then the third time I looked at fitness differently is when I was
Mm-hmm.
before I started teaching. So I'd taken my ETM, I'd taken various courses with teachers to become a belly dance teacher,
Mm-hmm.
specifically a belly dance teacher. And at the same time, I was studying ballet as well, and we would do things like floor bar, which were great. And that side of fitness, that's when I really started to understand the fitness that you need to be specifically a belly dancer, and likely other types of dances too. So yeah, those were the 3 points in my career that I really started to take on board fitness differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what kind of exercises, what types of things do you personally
Oh
recommend
God,
for
there's
belly
loads.
dancers? What kind of
Oh,
things do you think work
so
best for
the
you?
one thing
Yeah.
that we have to remember is with belly dance, we live in such a varied community. There's people that are hobbyists, there's people that are professionals, there's people that want to perform, and for everybody this is different. But I would say to keep yourself safe, belly dance is very underestimated as a dance, as a I don't want to call it a sport because it's not a sport. It's a cultural asset to many of us, but it's very underestimated in terms
Mm-hmm.
of how physically demanding it is, even the beginner moves. And if we don't learn those correctly,
Mm-hmm.
or if we don't have the correct alignment, we've all been there, like in a beginner's class where, there's so
Mm-hmm.
many students and it's hard for the teacher to go around and correct everybody. But if if we don't strengthen our muscles, we can get injured very easily from belly dance because of the way the muscles move, because of the way the joints move. So specific exercises I definitely recommend are firstly targeting the glutes. We use the glutes so much, like the glutes, you know, even walking, we use it, let alone belly dancing. So exercises like clams, doing those every day, glute bridges, um, exercises. And it really depends on what level of dance you're doing as well. So if you're looking to do shows or be a professional dancer, then you have to start looking at pushing deeper into these things and more frequently, things like using weights or
Mm-hmm.
using. So I teach, I've been teaching advanced classes. We're all using weights now in our conditioning because it's there to for the next level. It also depends on the style you're doing too. I mean, Turkish, like I said, is very physically demanding. So exercises that target the glutes. If you can target your glutes and really strengthen your glutes, it will protect your knees. It will take the pressure off your knees. It will protect your lower back. Um, and I wish I knew that when I started dancing, and I wouldn't have got injured. But in a way, I'm glad I did because then I wouldn't have gone down this route to really understand my body. And a lot of us,
Yeah.
yes, we look at it when we start out, we look at it as a hobby, or we just want to get on stage, wear a shiny costume, and it's great. It makes you feel good. Like that's what it's about. But then there's this other side to this that if you want to teach, if you want to protect yourself, if you want to enhance your moves, um, conditioning, I think, is like one of the most important aspects of training.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I agree. And yeah, and I think it really depends, like you said, if you're, want to become a really advanced dancer, if you want to perform or
Yeah,
become a professional, then you've really got to step it up. But yeah, even as a hobbyist, I think it's important to
yeah,
have at least a base level. Hopefully take class with someone perhaps that incorporates a little bit of conditioning, like Sureya, or just fitting a little bit here and there just to
definitely.
support your dancing as well. Do you ever have any students that
Yeah,
say to you that they don't need
yeah.
to do it, that they're
I've
already,
had in the past, not
yeah?
now, and this is one of the reasons why, and I get a lot of requests for beginner classes. I really do. And I'm teaching online at the moment,
Mm,
hoping to teach in the studio at some point in the future. But I always have felt like it's a bit of a problem when it comes to beginner students because beginner students just want to, I've found,
mm,
have like loved the fact of going to a dance class. It's there, it's a stress relief. They feel good. They want to learn a choreography and a bit of technique, which is great. But they don't realize necessarily the depth that goes behind it to protect yourself. So this is one of the reasons why online I'm only
yeah.
teaching advanced level because at that stage people are more likely to understand how important conditioning is and they accept they're more likely I found this is just my
Mm,
personal experience that I found that the students have accepted conditioning as part of the class. Whereas when I've taught beginners, if I've tried to
yeah.
do a bit of conditioning, even if it's some squats, the eyes roll, but it's, yeah, so,
Sneak
and
it
I'm like, I'm only
in.
trying to protect you. Like, as your teacher, I know what's best for you. Like, just trust me on this. It's not always about the glitz and glam, We've got to protect ourselves. We've got to do things safely. And there's only so much I can show you as a teacher. As my student, you can watch me and try and copy me, and I can tell you, your feet can't be like this. Your feet need to look a certain way when you're dancing. But at the end of the day, if you don't have
Mm,
that strength in your muscles, then you could get injured, and it's important. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, what does your personal practice look like, if you don't
Yeah,
mind
so
sharing a little bit?
it varies from time to time. I do also have another job that I do on a daily basis. I work every single day, but it means that I have to wake up very early to
Wow.
train. So I try to start my day with a bit of conditioning on most days, and I try and vary it up. So some days I'll be doing Pilates, some days I'll be just doing my own conditioning. Some days I'll be doing a bar class. My teacher, I'll give her a mention. I've
Mm,
got two teachers, but um, one of them's Nama, who you'd know from the belly
oh,
dance community. She teaches Pilates, and I love doing her classes because
mm,
she really breaks things down from scratch. But I have another teacher as well who's worth mentioning,
mm,
Miranda, and she's not a belly dancer, but she is a trained dancer. And I first met Miranda at her classes are online on interconnectedfitness.com, and they are really challenging. They are,
okay.
I would say, if you are advanced or professional as a belly dancer, it's really, really, her classes are fantastic because she's got bar on there, she's
Mm,
got hit, she's got Pilates, she's got uh, stretching. So my day, I would
mm,
do, say, something at home. Actually, I'm not a member of the gym anymore, which is where I first met her. But my
mm,
day is I'll do something along those lines, varied every day, whether that's either Pilates or bar or stretching or something else to do with cross training, nothing to do necessarily with dancing. And then I would, yeah,
mm,
either be planning my classes later in the day or performances or practicing my own choreography. So
Mm.
that's pretty much, and maybe stretching a little bit
No.
later. And then this I use maybe twice, 3 times a week. This bad
Mm.
boy is my foam roller. It's my best friend.
Mm.
It's my torture, but it's my best friend because this is great. Because when you're dancing a
Mm.
lot, teaching, performing, and training, the muscles really tighten quickly. So, especially in the legs for me and my glutes. So this is like the best thing ever. So yeah, so or I'd
Yeah.
be some days I'm taking classes with other teachers or learning a course, a
Mm.
different style, because it's important to, I think when you're a
Yeah.
teacher, it's important to keep training as well so that you don't lose your inspiration. Yeah, so it's pretty much varied, depending on how busy my day is, but I always try and
Mm.
have, and I always warm up and cool down properly. This is also,
Nice. Cool, cool. I'll have to check her out. Did you say it was
no, no,
Melissa or
Miranda,
Melanie?
Miranda.
Interconnected Fitness.
Yeah,
Miranda.
yes.
You is an M.
I'll comment
Cool. I'll have
after.
to
Her
check that out.
channel
She
is
sounds
really
amazing.
amazing. Like she's, if you think I'm fit, I'm not. Like compared to her, she makes me look like the average, you know, person that's never been to the gym. So yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, and Nama as well. Her classes, if
Cool.
you're
Cool, cool,
looking
cool.
to start out fitness or looking to start belly dancing, her classes
Mm.
are amazing because they will break things down from scratch, like alignment and um, correctly executing the exercises. Because it's one thing to copy and do something, but then it's another thing to understand what muscles you're using and how to use them. So.
Mm. Cool. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's great when you've got your
And you as
fitness
well,
person's
like
a
you're
dancer as
also
well. They
doing
can really
fitness,
kind
I
of
think.
and
Yes, so
do fitness. Yep,
definitely, like
yep,
there's a few out
absolutely.
there. And Tara as well, she teaches fitness classes. So there are a few,
Mm.
and it's nice
Yep.
to learn as well from a belly dancer who also teaches fitness because they understand what muscles need to work in order to belly dance too. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. I agree. And it's I find always like when I take your classes, you're always doing different exercises to ones that I
Ah,
do in my own practice. So
thank
I
you.
always get a good workout. So yeah, I always like
Oh
Saturday
yeah,
morning. I'm like, right,
motivational
let's do
Saturdays.
it. Yeah, yeah, it feels good. Feels good. So who are you training with, dance wise at the moment? And if is there anyone that you haven't
Oh,
trained with before
so
that you would love to train with? If money and
so
time was
belly
an
dance
object.
wise, I've trained with a lot of teachers over the years. I don't necessarily like to stick with one style. Yes, my base is Turkish, but I also love to learn other styles. Like I studied Egyptian for a long time. I went to Egypt and trained at festivals and in Europe as well. But teachers that I've been studying with since the pandemic started, um, like online, I've been studying with Serkan Tutar. He teaches Turkish style and he teaches very traditional
Mhm.
Turkish style and also Roman Havası. So in terms of learning more about the history, the culture, he's a fantastic teacher. He's based in Belgium. Azad Khan as well did his courses. He also incorporated fitness into his course, which was fantastic as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
He's
he's
super
into his
strong.
fitness
Yeah,
as
like really
well,
powerful dancer.
um, which is great. Diva Darina, she's also really has been a massive inspiration. I'm thinking of her right now, and um, I've done her courses and done one-to-ones with her. She's also, I believe, a trained physiotherapist as well. So she's got a fitness background, and
Wow.
yeah, like, and she knows how
Mm.
to link it to belly dance specifically, and always puts emphasis on the muscles and the knees and how to use them correctly and to execute a move, and the glutes. Like she uses, yeah, the glutes instead of using, say, your lower back, for instance, which is much safer to execute a move, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Lebanese Simon, he recently came to London. I did a workshop with him like 2 weeks ago. Um, Mohammed Shaheen, I did his online classes. God, there's so many. I've also non-belly dancers I've been studying with in
Mm-hmm.
this time. There's a famous salsa dancer called Ezgi Zaman, and she is like the queen when it comes to stretching. Like
Okay.
she is incredible. She's so flexible and stuff. And I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to improve my flexibility, so I've been studying her courses online. Um, God, yeah, like I just think it's important to vary your practice, study with different teachers,
Mm.
different styles, so that you can create your own unique style and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things that you want to focus on. Every teacher has something different to teach that you can learn from. So
Mm.
yeah, there's so many. I've probably forgotten to mention a few. Charlotte Disorga, like she has online classes.
Mm-hmm.
She's mentored me, done one-to-ones with me. We've concentrated on things like performances, goal setting, and she's her background is trained in ballet and jazz, so she understands too, like the importance of fitness and conditioning. There's so many, but I've just since the pandemic started, it's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's great. If
God,
you think
yeah. I'm
of any,
sorry
you
if
can
I
pop them
forgot
in the
anyone.
comments
Like,
below when
you know,
I
it's
post.
it's like just gone so fast the last 2 years. I was shielding for 13 months, so I was stuck within these four walls. So,
Mm, oh my
but for
God.
me, it was
Yes.
awesome because then I could dance all day and learn, you know. That's what I invested my time in, and
No.
it changed me completely. And same with fitness, like my fitness goals and learning changed during that time because when you're stuck at home, you're not going outside,
Mm,
you know, running around and stuff. It's different, you know. So
mm. Yeah, you can really focus if you're in that mindset for it. Where
oh
would you
God,
like to
I
take your dance in
definitely
the
want to keep
future?
teaching and keep performing.
Hmm.
Definitely, I feel like the style that I'm passionate about the whole of Rakshaki, like this is why I want to continue to perform and learn different styles to not just focus on one style, but Turkish style in particular, it will always be special because of my culture, but I feel like it is underrepresented in the like circuit scene around the world, around it's not as represented as say Egyptian, for instance. And I really want to take my
Hmm.
passion for it elsewhere, the rest of the UK, abroad.
Yeah,
That's where I want to be in terms of my dancing, to be one of those dancers that really represents um, my culture and the style that I'm really passionate about, as well as
sure.
other styles too, because you know I love fusion. I love
Yeah,
all
yeah.
styles of Rakshaki. I never say, oh, I don't like that style because they're all connected in some sort of
No.
way, I feel. Um, so I just want to keep learning as well and teaching and just yeah, spreading my passion for belly dance.
Amazing, amazing. I don't doubt that
Thank
you will
you.
make it. You're amazing and so
Thank
driven
you.
and yeah, complete powerhouse
Thank
and
you.
fantastic dancer. I love it. So one final question then. What makes you feel strong and badass in dance and
Oh,
in your everyday
good
life?
question. It depends because not every day you feel strong, you know? Like it's feeling strong is waking for me is waking up on a day where I'm tired, I want to procrastinate. I don't want to get out of bed. I just, you know, because my hours, my work is long. Is I have long days and I'm working 7 days a week. And there's times where I really don't feel like getting up and going and putting that extra practice in. But that's the hardest step. Once you're there and and you do that practice,
Mhm.
and you
Yeah.
create something new and you achieve something in your dancing or your fitness in the day, afterwards you feel badass. Like I think that's the point where you can say, yeah, I feel like a
Yeah.
badass today. um yeah, that's what was the other part you asked?
Yeah, that was it. What makes you feel strong and badass in dance and
Yeah,
in
I
your everyday
think I
life
think
is
yeah, that,
my
and
little
that
sign
doesn't
off
just go
question.
for dance, it goes for anything. Is that's yeah, you can
Mhm.
be self-driven, but having that consistency and telling yourself constantly, okay, I don't feel like doing this today, but if I get up, if I even do 15 minutes of something, I would have achieved something that would take my dance or my fitness to the next level on that journey. And then you feel better about
Yeah.
it afterwards. So I would just say, yeah, having that mindset where you keep moving forward, like you're not stuck somewhere,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's why I want to keep learning as well as teaching. Like I don't want to ever feel like one of those teachers that's like, oh, I know everything now, I've stopped learning and I don't need to go to other people's workshops
Right.
anymore or anything, because there's always something out there. We can't learn everything, even though we would like to. But yeah, that's the feeling, knowing that you've achieved something at the end of the day or learnt something. I think that's the most badass feeling.
Nice.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Well, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon.
You
Yeah, it's
too.
been lovely chatting to you and getting to know you a little bit. Um, and yeah, I guess you teach, don't you, on a
Yes.
Wednesday and a Saturday online, and
Yeah.
teaching floor work at the moment. So she's kicking her
How
asses
are
with
you
the
feeling
extra
today?
conditioning
How
to
are you
prepare our
feeling
bodies
today,
for
by
the.
the way?
I'm not too bad. My quads are a little bit like had to give them a good massage yesterday afternoon, so they're not feeling too bad actually. But yeah, it
You're
was a good
welcome.
class
Yeah, the
yesterday. Thank
classes
you.
there online. I've taught since, do you know what? This week will mark the 2-year anniversary that I started teaching my online classes
Mm,
since the beginning of the pandemic, and they've kept going ever since. Thank you.
well, congratulations.
And yeah, they're every Wednesday night at 6:30 and every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. They're advertised advanced, but if you're intermediate and you want to come along, there's always going to be options given. So and professional, whatever,
Mm.
like there's always options given, whatever we do. So um, it's centered around that, and yeah, I just love teaching. So yeah, and there's some live workshops coming soon as
Cool.
well. I've been talking to some organizers, so later on this year, when things settle down a little bit, we're gonna have some
Nice.
live workshops coming up. So
Cool. I can't wait. Maybe I can meet
yeah,
you
yeah.
properly
Because
in
whereabouts
person
are
then.
you? Like we're
I'm,
Brighton. Yeah,
I'm
so
in
you're not
Brighton.
too far, but I'm North London. So
Yeah, yeah. I've been in London this weekend actually.
uh,
My dad lives in London, so I've been up. But yeah,
okay,
I'm based in Brighton.
cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, I will let you get
Thank
on with your
you.
evening. Thank you, thank you. And I will see
See you
you
next
in
week.
class
Thank
next week.
you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.